Well, it's a wet one this morning. Got a bunch of rain overnight. Actually, pretty much as soon as we stopped working last night, it started dumping. Everything's wet, and wet means cold. I don't mind the chilly temperatures. It's the darn water that makes it cold, so try to stay dry today. A lot of you have no doubt noticed my beautiful, manly pink respirator. I wanted to try it because for whatever reason, the way the Wood-Mizer is designed, on the LT15, where the operator stands, you get completely covered in sawdust. So in lieu of inhaling who knows how much sawdust, I decided to go ahead and wear a respirator. And we bought that one, it's labeled for household dust. It has been great. It sucks to wear. It is cumbersome and you feel like you're being suffocated. Not the respirator, but between safety glasses, your hard hat, your visor, earplugs. Seriously, you have to take 10 minutes to dress down. But being able to breathe fresh air and use the air compressor and do a lot of stuff to clean the mill, clean the timbers, it's been worth it. And since we have a long way to go, I think it's a justifiable thing. So the reason I brought this up today, I wanted to share one, if you're a mill or a sawyer and you're not wearing a respirator, I would say just try one. They're like 30 bucks. Paint yours camo, whatever you want, put stickers on it. You might find it's actually pretty good. Like, I feel like I'm breathing fresh air all day long instead of hacking a lung on fine sawdust. But something I've learned, I've been wearing that one for about 5 days now, and it's a medium. And it comes to my chin, so it doesn't fit. So what happens is one of two things. It either slides down to go over my chin, in which case when I exhale, all the warm air goes up through my safety glasses, or I push it up and I don't get the foggy safety glasses, but it's not really comfortable and it doesn't make a very good seal on the bottom. So we had to make a supply run last evening and I picked up a little bit more expensive. This is $40, but it's actually a large. Same basic model. For me, I think we try to take safety seriously. I think a lot of people, the safety Sallies, manage to somehow find the very rare time where we're not wearing some PPE. But they seem to be completely blind to the other 98% of the time where we're wearing some PPE. And I don't want to start that argument. I don't want to. This video is not a place to air your opinions about PPE. So when you buy these masks, they come with two replaceable cartridges. They're really simple to install. They're like a twist lock design. This one actually seems to have quite a few adjustments. And I know that with PPE, if it doesn't fit, it's probably not working. You know, when you're wearing gloves that are too big or your hard hat doesn't fit, I mean, it's a joke. So that's kind of a rough assembled deal. What I really like when you're putting this on, this little clip that goes on the back of your head, you can do this with gloves on, blind. You reach around the back of your head and just like that, it's hooked. You guys see me take this on and off probably not less than 50 times a day and probably more like 100 times a day. So I'm not out here to promote PPE or become a safety Sally. I'm just sharing what's working for me. And you know, just letting people know that yes, it's inconvenient, but man, breathing fresh air all day sure is nice. So today, started on this 8x10 last night. This will become one of our top plates. I've got to get that finished up. And I've got a pretty good challenge for myself. I'd like to get through maybe 3 logs. I've talked to Alyssa and we both agree that I need to get rid of distractions. We really need to focus right now. It's game time. We can't take on any more projects. We were trying to get the trench backfilled. Because of the freezing weather, it's just gonna have to wait. That's just how it is. We're not superhuman. She's tired, I'm tired. Actually, we're both burnt out. And you know, we're trying not to go into this framing workshop looking like a couple of deadbeats. Gonna work hard today and try to make some good progress. Looking at the logs yesterday helped a lot. Makes me feel more confident that we can get more of the timbers. I think what's deceptive so far is that it seems like we're not getting very good production. And there's a lot of reasons for that. I don't want to rehash them all. But in a nutshell, we're trying to get the hardest timbers first. And second of all, we're trying to build systems. This system is working. I can be aggressive with cutting down to size. I can push the cants off the mill. And then later we'll come in here with the chainsaw. We'll saw this all up for firewood and we can either carry or use the backhoe to get it out of here. It took us a while to figure that out. Before, they were sitting over here, they were in the way, tripping on them. They're in the way over there, but they're less in the way. We've got a good system with the grapple. That is a lifesaver. I don't know what we were thinking with chains. That was never gonna happen. And Alyssa's rocking with the planer. So we're finally kind of getting some steam going here. Let's see, today's Friday. So we have 16 days until the workshop. Not 16 days to be ready, 16 days till the workshop. But the good news is a lot of the members that we have been kind of avoiding are relatively simple compared to the stuff that we have been milling. And that's why it's kind of like eating your vegetables first, right? So hopefully we won't have any issues getting those timbers. Once we get all the hard ones, we can work on the easy ones and hopefully things will kind of move along. All right, I'm gonna do some sawmilling and hopefully we'll get some good production today. Oh, I think we might have an unboxing in the queue today. We picked up some work lights. Not bad, not bad at all. Something I learned is that on the back side of a logger's tape is actually a circumference rule. I'm sure they use it for scaling logs to determine the amount of board foot. They measure the length, they measure the diameter, and there you go, there's your board foot. But it's also very helpful for determining what kind of beam or whatever you're going to get out of a log. On the back side of a logger's tape, you will find a circumference tape measure. It's kind of subjective because, for example, there's bark on this log. You don't want to measure over a knot because that's going to give you a false reading. But this one shows a circumference, or excuse me, a diameter of 16 inches. So using that number and a calculator that's available on the forestry forum, you can determine what you should be able to get out of a log. What I'm hoping to harvest from this one is an 8x10, 25 feet long, and that's going to be the final top plate for our frame. According to this calculator, I'll try to get a link to the calculator below in case you're working on this and don't know about it. 8x10, you would need a minimum log diameter of 12.8 inches. And the challenge here is that no log is truly perfect. So a 12.8 inch log, if it were dead round and it were dead straight, like you peeled it, stuck it on your lathe and it was 12.8 inches, that would give you an 8x10. Every log's got little dips and valleys and tips and turns in it. So I'm trying to learn how to look at these logs, scale them quickly, and figure out what they're going to produce. I have to say that logs that have little taper and are very straight are premium logs. So we're gonna try that theory and see if we can get our 25 foot 8x10. I think that puts us where the only thing bigger than a post is our tie beams. And we went and looked at that log deck yesterday and I'm pretty sure those tie beams are sitting in that log deck. If I can get the 8x10 25 out of this, that's huge pressure off of me. At that point, I've got to worry about our 8x8 long posts. I think we have 3 of those to go. I think I see one of them sitting in that log right there. So if we can get those, that really takes the pressure off. Well, pretty productive day. Got another long post done. It's one of our ridge posts, which is super exciting. Look at this deck. It's getting pretty good size. A lot of timbers in there, a lot of planing that needs to be done. What a beautiful sunset too. Put one last timber on the sawmill, one last log, and I think that's where we're gonna leave the sawmill for the night. We have a tool unboxing that we are working on for you guys, which is really exciting. It's gonna help us light up the garage while we work on planing and stuff. Alyssa's trying to move some stuff around so that we can make room for the planed timbers and start setting up the workshop. We've got kind of an idea. We did some math earlier and some measuring. It looks like we're gonna have 2 separate work areas. And then she did some arranging today for the tents and things that we'll be working underneath of in case it decides to rain and be nasty fall weather. So we got a log on the sawmill, and I'll probably pick up on that in the morning. It looks like we have 2 more long posts to go. And then I think we're done with the long stuff. Well, we still need to get our 8x15s. We're waiting for those logs coming on Monday. So this weekend, my goal is to get the long posts done and try to get the short posts done. And that will mean all of our posts are done. The only thing that we'd have to work on is rafters and floor joists. And I'm hoping that the logs that are coming, that we might be able to get some 12 by 12s out of that. And if we can, we could cut those in half, and that would give us 2 rafters in 1 log. That would be wicked. In closing, I'll share something that's kind of interesting, and I don't know exactly what's happening here, but we went to sticker this post, and see that white stuff? I mean, I'm assuming it's sap, but remember that piece the other day that had this in the end, and I shoved a nail in it? This is what I was worried was happening. This piece right here just fell off, that corner right there. You know, it was in there, and when we stickered it, just fell off. That worries me because I'm not certain that when you have a situation like this, that this timber is structurally sound. So I've been sending images of this stuff over to the shelter and having them kind of look things over. With that other one, we decided to rip it down. We turned it into a post and a floor joist. That was the best thing that we could do. And then what we're gonna do is end up cutting the length on those off. So that whole entire area is just gone. So the good news is this is a post, and something like that's not really an issue on a post because it has no compression on it. It's purely, well, it has compression, but not in its length. It has compression from the end. All right, that's the skinny for the day. Pretty good day overall. Happy Friday, and we'll start back tomorrow morning.